What is going on? It is the AlfromDtown Show. Hey, look who's over here. Over here.
Oh,
That's,
is that where I am? I'm over here. I'm on the top right.
yeah,
You got Chili here with you,
yeah.
and I'm on cam.
He's on cam. And we're both holding ink pens for some reason.
Think without one. I have to have one at work all the time. I can't think without my pen in my hand.
Oh, man. Man, it's cold out there.
Oh, I had a long day. Well, I know you had a long day, I'm sure, but every day for you is a long day. But yeah, I was back and forth between buildings today, getting spit on with this rain and everything. It sucked.
Yeah, it did. If you're somewhere sunny and you suck. Because we had rain. It started off when I got up. It was, the temperature was good and wasn't that cold. And by the time I got out in the country, man, it was like, oh shit, I'm not ready for this.
That's where I am in the country, but yeah, summer's over. We can
Yeah,
pretty much face it. I think it's done.
yeah, 20 degrees colder, we probably would have had snow this morning.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. We went to Montana a couple weeks ago, and the weather out there was unseasonable. I didn't know what we get into and everything. Like, I mean, I packed a whole bunch of sweaters and things that I never even got out, my big Carhartt and all that jazz. But we had unseasonably great weather, and that's the way it's been around here. And then we got back, and I think a couple days later they got like 12 to 16 inches of snow where we were. Like, we dodged that bullet.
wow.
Yeah.
And that's a cheap place to live. But I can see why, man. Man, I don't know about that.
I bet you spend a lot on gas. That's one state you don't want to drive around on E because you could go 100 miles sometimes, and that's why the speed limit is like 80. They're just like, you gotta go, you
Yeah,
gotta do your thing. And I remember hearing years ago that Montana speeding tickets were $5.
wow.
Yeah, wouldn't that be kick ass? So anyway, yeah, there's some wide open spaces and it's beautiful country, but yeah, you don't drive around on east. We'd hit a half a tank and like gas station fill, just because you don't know you're gonna be somewhere and you go over a hill, you're going over a hill, you're thinking, what's up for this hill? And then it's like those commercials where you just see for like you pass a car and you can see like 5 miles down the road. It's crazy.
Man.
It's wide open. It's neat, but those winters, yeah, they'll test you. They'll test you. I'm glad we got out in time.
Yeah, you don't want to be stuck in no 16 inches of snow. Not yet anyway.
No,
That's coming.
yeah, they shut highways down and stuff.
Now, did you guys get a lot of that rain? Was it a lot of that? Because I noticed, like, I mean, we got hit hard. I think we got,
Within the last 24 hours?
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I think we got 2.5 is what I saw on a farmer's rain gauge.
Oh, they were saying up here like 4 inches of rain.
Yeah, see, that's what I was wondering because I noticed, and even like going up into Chicago, it was, they were getting a lot of rain also.
I didn't go down towards Peoria. I have two ways to get to work, and I take the over the river and through the woods, and I kind of avoid Peoria. It's a couple minutes longer, but it's a nice mellow drive. Or if I roll into Peoria, but you get down Peoria, I fall along the river, my path to work, and these houses flood like every other year. These people are parking up on the highway. There's all these houses along there, and they'll just how can you flood every other year? You would think you just get the heck out of there, but these people go through it. So I'm wondering with all this rain, if that river starts to come up, Peoria's got problems and it has for years, and these people are crazy.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not living on no river, man.
No, I mean, water view is beautiful, but you don't want to be down right on it.
Yeah. Nah, unless it's a like a man-made lake and there's a hill, then
Yeah.
I'd do something like that. But yeah, as far as my buddy, we used to go when on the Kaskasky River. He had a cabin down there, and man, we'd go every year, and the first thing you did was pretty much clean the mold and all the the river water and everything else out of the bottom half of this cabin. And we
Ugh.
we went one day and it was fucking gone.
It just washed
It
away.
just washed away. I was like, oh man.
Sweet.
But yeah, it was yeah, it's my last camping trip of the year was this weekend.
Yeah.
And I know we were supposed to record yesterday, but me setting or hooking up that camper, dumping the tanks,
Uh-huh.
and then bringing it home to the storage place, unhooking it, doing all that, man, that wore me the F out, dude. I was
I
like,
understand.
I don't want to do shit. I didn't either.
Yep. That's a lot of work. We talk about woman and I. We've talked about camping the next couple years and maybe get rid of a car and get a camper, a little motor home, and all that stuff. And I keep debating it. We're in Montana. If you want to look this thing up sometime, this guy in this motorhome passed me, and I'm like, what? And this thing looked like a spaceship. It was low and it was wide, and we were going through these curves, and I was like, this guy was moving this thing. So finally, pulled into a rest area, and I got out. I'm such a dork. I'm at the dude's window before he could even think, and I'm like, tell me about this thing. But it was designed by DeLorean's designer and it made in the 80s, and they made like 500 of these things, and it was really low and wide, and it was 21 feet long, but they built these things to fit in a regular garage door. So
Damn.
if you had a fairly deep garage, or a little more than I had in D-Town, because that was about 21 feet deep, you could fit this motorhome right in there. I mean, it was really cool. It was and like I said, they only made like 500 before the company went belly up. It was a
Yeah.
neat machine. I'll have to send you some pics of it, but I'd love to find one.
Oh, man, but the only bad part about that is parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, you're
this
gonna.
guy said, I won't get into details, but he said that they all had a BMW turbo diesel, and I'm like, oh God, that's money. And he said this one's been converted to a Cummins. I thought he said 2.4. I don't know my little Cummins, but it had a diesel, whatever. And this dude was, like I said, he passed me and was moving through these turns, and I think was actually a 5-speed. I went online and read about these things, but I'll send you a pic. This was really unique. Oh, and the whole top pops up and everything. So like I said, this thing was low, but you go to camp, and the top
Oh, and
pops up, and
yeah, and the whole.
like the old bugs, the Volkswagen,
Yeah, I you,
not bugs, but the sedan, the vans.
I have seen one of those. I do know what you are talking about.
Yeah. So anyway, that got me wondering because I would love to have one, man. That would be really fun, but
It
yeah,
is.
it'd probably be a nightmare, like you said.
Yeah, I mean it's fun because I mean, well, if you do want to go somewhere and you don't want to like spend, $110 a night for a hotel, it's kind of nice to be able. I think most of the campgrounds around here they average out to around what, $18 a night, and
Bad.
no, I like it,
Yeah.
and it gets me away from the weekend, for the weekend, and I kind of liked outdoors. I like fishing and
Yeah. See,
walk.
growing up, my parents were not into that shit. We never went camping. It was just like every other year, saved up, we took a vacation, but we never like did any outdoorsy shit. So I like, the woman, she's into camping and everything. I'm like, you're into it, let's do it sometime.
Uh, yeah, I think you like it. I like to get out there, drink a few beers, and get right with nature.
Yeah. I'd like to just rent one time just to try it. Just a little motorhome and or something, and just try it, rent one for a weekend and see, hey, is this what I want to do?
Man,
Just can't decide.
I think there's a place in Peoria that does that. That rents them out for the weekend and stuff. It
I'll
might
check
it,
it out.
it might be on the other side of the river, but yeah, I mean there used to be. That was years ago. So
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
yeah, we get our money. I wish we could have went a few more times. this year. I wish I had about another month, but so now it's going to be time to go and winterize it and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Because I had to buy a new toilet for that son bitch last year.
A new toilet.
I did too, man. I went.
Did you break the other one?
Oh man, I was mad. No, what I did was I went and I winterized everything, and you turn on all the faucets, and then I took a blowgun and blew through the lines, get the excess water out and everything. The one thing I didn't do was go and step on the pedal to flush the toilet, and
left water standing.
yes,
in the trap.
And so as soon as we hooked it up and I turned on the pump, I kept hearing the pump running. Usually it'll run for, I think 3-4 seconds and then shuts off. And it just kept running. I'm like, huh. I walk in the bathroom. I got socks on. I'm standing in water. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Oh, that's a rough one.
So it was like, I think the parts were like $87 for the whole inside to redo it. And it was $110 to buy the whole thing. And I was like, well,
yeah, they're made of plastic.
Yeah, I just bought the whole thing. I was like, you know what? I'll pay the $20 for me not having to rip that toilet apart. And, but yeah, I still got it in the garage for some reason. I cleaned it up and put it on there, put it in there.
Do you go sit on it when you're out in the garage, smoke a cigarette? And
Yeah.
Sit on that.
I got an old lawnmower thing, and I thought about putting that on that, and sitting out in the front yard one day and just waving at neighbors, see what they say.
Sitting on a plastic toilet on top of a lawnmower.
Yeah, but I'd take the motor off, so have Kim out there pushing me around.
That'd be solid. I'm glad I moved. There's the price of houses.
Yeah, I better not do that. We're trying to sell our house. Hopefully it'll be on the market in April.
Nice.
Yeah, I gotta get out of the city.
I understand. It's nice to be close to things, but on the other hand, living out where we do now, I'm a half hour out of Peoria. I'm 5 minutes away from a town of 6,000. About 5 minutes away from two towns that are about that size. Each one's about 5 minutes away, and we're kind of out in the country, little neighborhood, and it's very mellow. It's very quiet, and I like it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I want to be able to go outside and pee and no neighbors see me or anything like that.
Right, but if I got to go into town, it's about a half hour drive to get into, a major city, and that sucks.
Yeah. But I don't know.
You run your errands on their way home, and once you get home, you don't leave.
Yeah. I'd be okay with that. See, I'd be okay with that.
It works for me.
Have me a pond out back that I can fish, Kim call on her way home. Hey, you need anything? Yep, grab beer and night crawlers.
Sweet. This neighborhood was supposed to have a lake, but I guess it never got put in, but they've talked about doing it, and which would really help if this place had a lake local to it. I mean, we're not far off the river. Pretty close to, if I want to drop a boat, yeah, like 8 minutes away, to do it.
Yeah, see, I'd rather have that deal than 8 minutes away from a big city. I give me the half hour and the 8 minutes from the lake.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah.
I don't know. The river's got some current. I don't know. It's probably not like hanging out on a lake, but people go on their boats. They're out there. So
well,
have at it.
That's dangerous, man. That river kayaking. I mean, yeah. I think we had a guy in spring. It seems like every year one of them putting that Sangamon River, man, and That's some dangerous stuff.
Yeah, I'm not into that. I'll do a boat, but I'm not enough to buy a boat. That's how much. It's nice, like swimming pools. When other people have them, it's awesome. When other people have boats and pools, that's all you need.
Yeah, yeah. You just need a friend with a boat or a pool.
That's right.
You don't need to buy that shit.
Negative.
Man, I saw um I bring this up. If you're younger than me and Evan, then you won't care about this, but they said that Tawny Kitaen, she died of natural causes. So I just read that a little earlier.
Wait a minute, she died a year ago or something, did she?
No, it was May of this year that she died, but they had never said how she died. And at first, they were checking like to see if because it was kind of unexpected. It was something to do.
Old?
59.
Hmm. Okay, that's scary, because I'm 50 now, and when you're in your 50s, I'm almost 51. Like you can go at any time.
The hell yeah, and I mean, they said it wasn't really drugs or alcohol. She did have some, they said stuff in her arteries like Xanax and had a build up and stuff like that, but it wasn't like anything
Build
stupid.
up.
Yeah.
Your artery. You're bad when your arteries are plugged with
Man.
drugs. Got to build up.
And that chick I remember from like well, the first movie I ever saw her in was a Bachelor Party with Tom Hanks. Great movie. If you have not seen Bachelor Party, go and watch Bachelor Party. I wonder if it still holds up.
Decatur in that. Don't they mention Decatur in that movie?
I think so.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. Yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah. I might have to watch that later, actually. I don't think man, that was when Tom Hanks, man, he was kind of wild.
Yeah, he's just getting started.
Boy, he'd probably hate to sit there because a lot of them celebrities, they hate to watch their like early movies and shit. No, 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 motherfucker. You're going to suffer through this like I did.
Every Bosom Buddies episode.
Man, that dude died.
The other guy in there?
Yeah. He died a couple days. What was his name? Peter. I just saw that.
He was a one-hit wonder. Did he do anything else ever?
I think he did like he was more behind the scenes of Hollywood. I think he was doing a lot like producing, and I think he had something to do with like he was kind of big into the actors union and all, the guild or whatever they call that shit.
I got you.
But yeah, I always thought that White Snake video with her dancing on them cars, I always thought that would be so funny if some dude just like ran outside and was like, "Bitch, get off my car."
Just happened to have two of them parked that 6 inches.
Man. And that dented them hoods. It had to.
Yeah, but it's White Snake, they could afford it.
Yeah. I think those were his cars.
He probably saved that hood for where she did the splits on it. Just I would.
Hope she wore underwear, because if not, and that engine was running. Whew.
Can we take this video again? No, we got it, Tawny. One more time.
Yeah. Third-degree burns on the lips.
What?
I said third-degree burns on them lips. If you don't, you got to hurry up and shoot fast. Because I'm pretty sure them cars were idling because they had the smoke coming out. Or they could have used a smoke machine, I guess. They probably, yeah.
The headlights were on. They didn't want to run the battery down.
Right.
You got to do what you got to do.
Unless they use Die Hard. Did you do anything exciting this weekend?
I actually went to D-Town, had some dinner with some friends and stopped and saw my parents and stuff like that. So we did that Saturday and came back. And yesterday I did not get out of bed till like 11:30. Woke up at like 9 and just laid there. Went back to sleep for a little bit, woke up, like finally got out of bed like 11:30. I can't believe it. So I wasted half the day.
Uh-oh. It was a good day to waste.
Oh yeah.
It was
I came out in the
crappy.
garage. I did a little painting. I'm about done.
Yeah, it looks nice behind you. You got it
Well,
going.
I didn't do all that, but
Oh, I thought you painted that.
no.
I'm doing a little painting now, Al. Some watercolors.
This came from my grandma's apartment when she died 96, and then it went from a cousin to a cousin and got passed around, and I ended up with this thing.
Huh.
Yeah, it's pretty funky. But it used to have little lights in there and a little, I don't know, they would flash and twinkle and all that stuff, but that stuff got ripped out, you know.
You better
So I might put some lights back in it.
you better check the back of that, man. Them old people used to like to hide money in them paintings.
There's nothing behind it. I checked.
Well, hell, what was it? It wasn't too long ago that somebody bought a painting and they were going to redo it. And so they took the back off, and there was like, if I'm not mistaken, it was like something to do with the Bill of Rights or something. It was like a rough draft of the Bill of Rights. I was like, damn, why can't I ever find no crap like that? But on the garbage route, every time I would see a picture, I didn't care if it was from '84. I ripped the back open.
Never know.
I don't do it now, but yeah, I was like, man,
You know, people back then, they used to sew money into drapes and in mattresses. And they forget about it. I forget where I hide stuff, man.
yeah,
And that's not money.
yeah. That's what was funny during that house when we had that house fire. The only funny thing about it was going through all the stuff they had pulled out of the house, and I was like, "Damn, I ain't seen that in 10 fucking years."
Thanks for cleaning my house.
Yeah, I tell you what, that is one thing that I didn't rebuy a lot of the shit that I lost. I kind of simplified, and where
Got some home improvements out of it.
yeah, yeah, got the house paid off.
Cool.
That's real nice. That's a nice feeling right there.
Good place to be.
Uh-huh. Now I'm gonna sound like that damn Dave Ramsey, where the new BMW is a paid off mortgage.
That's the truth. I haven't actually made a car payment since I bought the Devil, and I think that was in '08. I went and I had the Pathfinder. I paid it off. I drove that thing. I had that Pathfinder 16 years. I got rid of it about a year ago. But I anteed up a little more cash and bought this little truck, and I'm like, no car payment, man. It's a good feeling.
Oh yeah. Okay, can I do that? Yeah, I can.
Yeah, her car's paid off. It's all paid off. That's a good place to be. It won't last for long, you know how that goes.
Oh no, no, I know. I, because I was getting close. I think I only owed like six 69 or something like that on my truck when I went and traded it in. And man, that killed me. Because honestly, this new truck I got is the highest car payment I have ever had in my life.
That's the way it goes.
But I ain't getting stuck no more.
No, you got a nice rig.
And it's not bad. I think I get 9.7 miles per gallon pulling that camper. And with the F-150, I think I was getting 10, but I was starting to eat transmission fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like, and that stuff's expensive.
Oh yeah, everything is.
Jesus, I didn't realize like transmission fluid had went up the price it did. I was like, my lord.
Everything has gone up. I can't believe it. Yeah, I remember working at the hardware store when I was a kid. Man, I sound like a boomer. But oil was like a buck a quart.
Yeah.
And like windshield washer fluid, like that stuff was like 50 cents a gallon. You go to the gas stations, they rape it. It's like $6 for a gallon of that windshield washer fluid. It's like, come on.
Man. I watched this video earlier, and this guy had this dog, and he had taken it camping, and the dog would just automatically, every day this guy would get up, his dog would be outside. It had its own little house and everything, and it was pretty cool. And but this dog would get up on the table and just put his paw, and he was making like this clicking noise on the glass, trying to wake this dude up so the dude would come out and cook breakfast. I was like, man, that reminds me of so much of freaking Jake.
Dogs are smart.
Man, that dude, yeah.
Some are.
Some are, yeah. Man, that's what I did yesterday. I watched dog videos on YouTube for about 8.7 hours.
I'm surprised you're not on TikTok. I'm surprised you haven't got on that yet. Because it's the new YouTube. I mean, with people, their little videos. I mean, it's short videos, and you just next, 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 kind of thing. But you do a search, there's everybody on there talking about everything, and it's well, and YouTube is. We were talking about it earlier before we kind of got on. YouTube is just getting stricter and stricter and stricter, and people want a little freedom.
And see, if you notice, that happens with almost every platform. It was like when we were on Stickum. You could pretty much do anything on there. And
Sure.
then the rules, the bigger the company gets, then you get different shareholders in there. And they're like, oh, we don't like this, we don't like this, we don't like this. And then
Yeah.
that's what I hate. When I hear companies going public, I'm like, fuck, there goes the fun.
Well, YouTube's been booting a lot of content because, it violates their, terms or standards and so forth. And, I got that. So a friend of mine the other day posted something political, and I'm like, okay, I'll click, So I click on it, went to YouTube, and it said, this video has been removed for being too long. There's videos on YouTube that are 3-4 hours long.
Yeah.
There's documentaries, there's stuff, and this video just happened to be too long for you guys, huh?
Well, that's what happens when, you get politicized people in roles of power. I mean, I hate to say it, but, they don't even have to be a politician. But if they have certain views and then they get in a role, a certain role, then they can change everything, man.
Yeah. Well, they got competition now, and they'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and then there's supposed to be another one, another like video thing like this dropping soon. And then I heard something about Trump starting like a Facebook or whatever. Did you hear about that shit?
I heard about that again. Well, I heard about that way long time ago, and it was like, no, it never happened. And then, like after the whole thing at the Capitol. But I saw a headline, yes, yesterday or something about he starting one, but I did not investigate.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I figured they wouldn't allow it. Whatever happened to Parlor? Did it die?
I don't remember. Uh, I know a lot of people went to it. Um, man, I just don't want to be, and I guess I should, I could get on TikTok and do a show podcast and put our link on there, um, or whatever. But man, I just really don't want to do anything. I'm good with the shit I got to work with now.
Oh, I understand. Yeah.
We did get a couple compliments on our last show. They said they enjoyed listening to us. So
No kidding.
yeah,
It's not bad for two dudes that have no idea what they're going to talk about.
no, and we don't either. I mean, we sit there, we set up, and we kind of shoot the shit for a little bit, but we never say, okay, here's what we're gonna do. At Mark 5, I'm gonna get up and go pee, and then I want you to sing "Come Here, Annie" from Oklahoma.
I don't know that.
I don't either. I don't even know if that's a song on Oklahoma.
No, no. So anyway, I've just been thinking about that in my head. I'm like, if we talk about things that are current, then the shows are going to be dated. Like we could sit and talk about the Baldwin shit. But in 2 weeks from now, would anyone want to go back and listen to that?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
So I'm like, what do you discuss?
I do. I did forget about that. That poor guy. But you know what? It's not the first time it's happened.
No.
That's how
Yeah.
Brandon Lee died. Bruce Lee's
Right.
son.
I think they filmed that rest of that movie did it like CGI, and that was the beginning of some of that because I think that was near the end of the movie when they shot him and
Yeah.
and he went off the table and I think they didn't even know at the time that he was shot. That was part of the scene. Didn't get blown off the end of that table. Guy wait a long table and he's standing on. It's been some years.
I
I'm
know.
going back 30 years to that movie.
Man, you're getting old, dude.
I am so old. But yeah, that's happened before and pretty interesting.
Yeah. There's going to be some lawsuits.
Well,
Everybody's sue happy now.
right, but will he be charged? I mean, he's kind of has to be. So,
I mean, if anything, neglect, because anytime you do, yeah. But I mean, they said the guy said cold weapon and handed it to him, meaning there's no ammo in there. So it's probably going to be, they got people that do all that.
right.
You
And
know,
I'm thinking to myself, if someone gives you a gun, I mean, it's your responsibility
to check that
a
gun.
firearm
Yeah.
before it happens. But some of these Hollywood actors, I don't know if any of them actually, know how to check, dismantle, whatever, a gun. Some of them probably wouldn't, or we wouldn't know a blank from a real bullet.
Well, yeah, most of them are probably, they're kind of probably anti-gun anyway until they're getting paid from using one.
Well, Alec doesn't need a gun. His bodyguard, probably carries, but
Yeah.
he doesn't need one,
Yeah, that's sad, man. But it just goes show you, no matter what you do, man, it's life short, and it can be taken even shorter. So
It's true. You never know when.
yeah, just be happy. Be happy.
I try.
I know, man. I do too. I do too. I know there was one thing I was wanting to. I can't remember it. And I know I ain't gonna be able to find it. Damn it. I should have bookmarked that. I'm learning. I used to do all that. Remember, I'd sit down and I'd just click a button and everything would pop up that was on my mind. And now it's I just like, oh my God.
Well, pretty soon after this picks up, we'll get a producer and stuff. We'll have
Yeah. Hell
somebody
yeah.
look up things and
Alec Baldwin might be looking for work.
You ever done any producing?
Man, that wasn't even right. I don't even know why I said that.
know that we want him anyway.
No, no, I'd argue with him too much. Man, he got too political. And I like them Baldwin boys.
Really?
I mean, I know he had that thing with his daughter, remember, where he called her a fat little pig. I
Shoot her out on an answering
I
machine?
think we played that on our old show, and like somebody did a remix to it and added scratching and shit.
Yeah.
You know
I mean,
what?
celebrities are people too, but that looked really ugly for him.
But you know what? I can't even sit there and act like I've never like talked to my kid in a way that if somebody heard that shit, they're acting up in the store. I mean, I'm sure I grabbed one of my kids one time. Hey, I will take you out back and beat the shit out of you at Walmart.
Man, the last job I had before I started this one, it was almost 3 years ago. This place I worked for a short period of time. The secretary butt dialed me, and
No.
I'm listening, and I think she's in the car. It sounded like she was in the car, and I couldn't believe like this sweet little, little little woman, and she was giving her kid, I will pull you down. It was more than I'll pull this over and spank your ass. She's like, I will beat you and everything. And I was like, oh my, and I'm listening, oh my God, I should hang up, because this could go on forever. But I was like, whoa, oh, wow.
Yeah.
You never know.
Man, I tell you what, nothing will test your gangster like a child.
That's why I never had kids.
Man, I'm telling you, man. And oh, my poor daughter. She's got four, and they're stacked on top of each other age wise. So yeah, man, she's in for it.
Wow. There's the church I went to in Decatur is a couple that just had their seventh. What are you thinking?
Seven. Ain't no fucking way.
And the dude bought one of them like them tall, funky like transit vans, like you used to see. What's the DHL? Those
Oh
things,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
them Nissan funky, ugly ass vans. Because what are you gonna stuff your family in when you got 6 kids and you all need to go somewhere? Now he's got 7.
Yeah, the Amish like them vans.
He's not Amish.
Well, he should be. He's having kids like them Amish people.
Man, college is school, food, stuff is expensive.
I better not start my beef up with the Amish again. What a
People used to need the families because they had to work the farms, but nowadays it's a different story, and those kids are liabilities. All of them. They're not assets anymore. Put them to work.
yeah,
You're not going to go to ninth grade this year because we got some plowing to do.
man,
It's not like that anymore.
we got butter to make.
Yeah.
I did know. What has happened in the last week? Oh, they found that laundry kid or whatever.
Oh yeah, the woman's been following that pretty close. It's
Here.
pretty funky.
Why is just that getting so much national? Because to me, the way I see it is okay. They know where she is now. They know where he is now. Now let's go find another one of the 300,000 missing women right now in the United States. Why are we going to just stop with this case?
I don't know why some things make the news and some don't. Why some school shootings you don't hear a word about them, and others it's huge.
Yeah. I just don't. The media could actually like turn into a hero right now if they would do something like that. Quit putting your political opinions out there and, pick a woman, pick another woman. Hell, we got one in Decatur that's been missing since, over the summer. And,
Yeah.
Nothing.
Oh yeah.
It just makes me wonder. I wonder if, like, one of the families is kind of well to do or rich or something like that, or they got ties in something else. Because, I mean, you can't tell me this is the only story about some dude, you know,
Yeah, it happens all the time.
all
But
the
it's a
time.
it's a crazy story. But yeah, why does it make the news and other things don't like this? But we were just out in Montana. And there's huge Indian reservations, and I guess it's so common that these Indian girls get taken, these truckers and stuff, and they traffic them, and sometimes they don't even report them missing because what are the police going to do? The Indians, I'm sure their opinion of the white man isn't high. On some of these reservations, they keep to themselves, and we're supposed to keep to ours. But we were sitting at this restaurant, and this is old trucker guy sitting with this young Indian girl. I'm like, gosh, that does look a little,
Mm-hmm.
should I question or should I mind my own business?
Man. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
scary, man. I'd hate to be a woman. Man, that's scary shit. Bunch of weirdos out here. 2 of them on this show.
It's yeah, a woman on her own. That would be scary. I can't imagine.
No. Uh-uh.
These days, things get a little rough.
So, yeah. And Bill Cosby's getting sued.
For what?
That sexual assault or whatever. They're going after him.
Again?
Yeah. Well, it won't be. He won't get like the civil trial is what this is going to be. I don't know, man. Old Bill. That fucked me up too, man. The Cosby Show. That was like the dad you wanted to have.
Yeah. The first cassette I ever bought, I think I don't know how old I was, grade school, about Bill Cosby, stand up.
Oh yeah.
His albums, whatever, and I listened to that thing over and over and over.
That dude never did cuss.
Stuff.
He
never what?
He never cussed.
No, he didn't. He was clean.
Yeah, he was one of the clean comedians that were actually funny. I'm not saying you got to use, cuss words to be funny, but
sometimes it's just part of the act.
Oh my God, are they really still talking about the Chappelle shit? Oh, we're done with that.
Yeah.
He needs to just send them a thank you letter because they have probably blown that special up.
That's probably why we watched it. But
yeah.
It's funny. We talked about trans last time, and I thought to myself, I don't know anybody. I've never known it. And I'm like, you know what? I do. Girlfriend's son has a friend that is transing right now, and she has been here twice, and we've hung out, and it is so weird that I kind of forgot about it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think she acts like a chick, kind of sounds like a chick. He's really working on her voice, and everything. And it's just, he visited a couple times, sat down, did a puzzle,
Well,
I'm like, wow, that's something that I never thought I'd really in my lifetime. But it's more common these days than when we were growing up,
Oh, right. And yeah, like I said, I don't give a shit. Do what the fuck you want.
Oh, I didn't either.
Yeah, so. It's just, it is what it is. I am going to have my buddy, Chuck. He's going to come in. That's going to be a wild show, dude.
Yeah.
Because he's a pretty militant guy. And, I'm going to pick his brain and get him going on some race shit. Because me and him aren't the same complexion.
Gotcha. I had a feeling.
Yeah, so he's going to come in this week. So me and him will record that in here, and hopefully, I don't get my ass beat saying something.
Good luck to you. But that sounds cool.
No, it is, and he's a good dude. I've known him for shit over 20 years, so I doubt if I'm going to get beat up. I hope not. That would suck. On cam.
And that's the end of the show.
Yeah. Hopefully there's no music playing, get your ass whooped to a soundtrack.
Like the Benny Hill.
Yeah. Hey, watch on track 4 when Al gets body slammed.
Yeah, you'd have to put the Benny Hill music on there.
I know, right? Well, son of a bitch, Evan.
What?
45 minutes in.
Really?
Yeah. Well, folks, you know our rule, 30 to 45 minutes. We want to keep you ready for next week's show. If we keep talking, you'd be like, these fucking idiots. Are they ever going to shut the
These guys can talk forever.
man? What is
About
going
nothing.
on? Well, we didn't talk really politics. I was happy. The last show we did talk politics a few times, and I kind of wish we wouldn't.
Yeah.
But it's hard not to. It really is. Hey, we didn't this time, so. Oh,
Yeah.
I just smacked the microphone now. Anyway.
All right, sir.
Evan?
Yes, sir.
Would you like to say anything before we get the fuck out of here?
If you made it this far, thank you.
Yeah.
Hats off to you.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, guys. We will see you next week with another show. Peace.